Hey, what's going on? How y'all doing out there today? This is your Uncle Steve on a Friday here, chopping it up with you about these Atlanta Falcons and other things if y'all want to talk about that. But there has been so much made in the last couple of days about, I don't know, Michael Penix, the GM, Matt Ryan. Say what you want to say. I tried to hold off to the weekend, but I said to myself, I said, well, let me get started a little bit this week so we can kind of get a little head start on everything going. The Michael Penix thing is the most fascinating, not so much of what he said, but the reaction to what he said. And then, of course, Matt Ryan having to kind of come back and reiterate his love for Mike. It's really weird. I just want to talk to y'all as fans about it just to see what you think. A lot about nothing, or is there concern? I have some thoughts on it. We'll talk about it when we get back.
You're in Uncle Steve's lounge. You're in Uncle Steve's lounge. Gonna sit down, have a good time. You're in Uncle Steve's lounge. You're in Uncle Steve's lounge.
On. How y'all doing out there today? This is your Uncle Steve. It is February 6th. And the crazy thing, man, I promise you, it feels like we just literally left 2025 and we're already into February of the year, second month of the year. Getting ready to do the Super Bowl here in a couple of days. I got some news about that later on. But this thing just doesn't stop, as we've been told several times. I am Uncle Steve. Thank you for joining us here. Whether you're joining us on Facebook, whether you're joining us on YouTube, we hope you are. YouTube channel, Uncle Steve's Lounge. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe and like the video if you feel compelled to. I would really like that. And also, we're on Twitter today. So anybody watching out there in Twitter land, we appreciate you all taking the time to join us. Boy, I guess it's been a minute since I was on here. And since the time, I think when the last time I was on, they were just having the introductory press conference for Kevin Stefanski, which as I kind of went through that thing to say, yeah, it's really not. I don't know. To me, it's still a lot to do about nothing. It's really not a lot you can get from it aside of knowing, hey, this is the guy that's going to lead us into the next tier. And same thing goes for Mr. Cunningham. Welcome him into Atlanta. It's been told about his resume being in the Baltimore Ravens organization for a while, and then switching over to Chicago where he was the assistant GM, and now he's bringing him and his old Falcon root or Atlanta roots, I should say, here to Atlanta to hopefully make this team one of those two squads, which both of those squads have been to the playoffs a couple of times in the same time that we haven't been in the playoffs. So maybe he can bring something new, something fresh. We'll see. It's kind of hard to tell at the moment because there's really not a lot going on right now. Off season hasn't even started yet. Uh, Rosters, drafts, mock drafts, combine, all those good things that we talk about. And then these days with the college kids, you don't know whether half of them are suing to try to stay in college because they know they're not a great prospect because they can make more money staying in. We don't know. So it's a lot of things to talk about as far as that's concerned, but just kind of hard to get dive right into it at this time. What I wanted to talk about a little bit today was Michael Penix, and it, very seldom do we hear from him, especially on the social media side. So Mike dropped the Instagram on us the other day, and I'm still trying to see if I can share this slide with you. I'm not sure if I can or not. May not be able to, but I'll do my best to read along with it and make your own decision. Now, of course, we know Mike got hurt last year uh, and has been rehabbing, and it's been said from the organization. It seems like everyone is giving Mike their back and saying, "Hey, we want you to be on team." Nobody has said we're not going to have him on the team yet. So from that standpoint, I guess you could feel kind of secure. But I think a lot of people are looking for that overriding confirmation that Michael Penix is 100% entrenched as the number one quarterback. And I think smartly, whether you're Matt Ryan, Kevin Stefanski, and I'm pretty sure soon Ian Cunningham, you're gonna kind of stay away from that right now. One, because it's February 6th and we haven't even ended the season yet. You still got folks on your roster that aren't going to be there. Uh, so I can understand how people can take certain quotes and things of that nature and run with it. So I'm just going to read a little bit off here and have patience with me. This is what Michael Penix put out the other day. He said, as a man, you carry a lot of pressure each day, each and every day. Pressure to provide for your family, pressure to succeed in everything you do in life, pressure of letting everyone around you down. But the one thing I never did and never will do is fold in the face of it. Everything I've been through to this point made me into I am today. I wouldn't change a thing. I come from the mud, literally. Um, Ian, get this. I didn't get this far. I'm sure that's what he meant. By mistake, I never had no handouts. My road to success was never easy, and I'm still just scratching the surface. All the pain, uncertainties, not knowing what will come next never stopped me from pursuing my dreams. I know that what God has planned for me, no man can take that away. I never needed no sympathy. I wear my heart on my sleeves proud. How can you ever be mad at me when all you ever try to do is feed my family? Well, all I ever try to do is feed my family. How can you tell me I can't do something and you don't know what it took for me to get here? I'm a walking testimony. Not too many people can say that they've been through what I've been through and still had the determination to keep going. Some people might think I'm crazy or say they would have quit a long time ago, but that will never be me. That ain't how I was raised. I'm forever going to stand 10 toes and show why my God is almighty, and I will never put me in a situation that I can't get through. Wherever you are right now in my story, stay there. I never needed motivation or a pat on the back. All I never ever needed was an opportunity. As long as I got breath, I got that. The turtle race continues. So, you know, it's funny to me because when I first saw that, the first thing I thought was, well, good for him. He's human. I'm not saying he sits and stays on Twitter and listen to half the trolls and everybody else and hear what their opinion about his knee and his situation and their opinions on whether he's never going to play again and all of that stuff. I can probably see how that would get on his nerves. He's also not stupid. He probably has folks around him. Oh man, this person talking about you. They talking about you on the radio station. They talking about you on podcasts. They saying you're not ready. They got Stephen A. Smith dogging you out, which small pocket of note because I don't even want to give him as much breath. Stephen A. Smith, sometimes I know, God bless him for being able to do what he does and the audience he's attracted and all that good stuff and whatever. Stephen A. Smith is a blowhard who just wants the story to be about him. He all the fallacies and stuff. And the brother can't bend his knees. Man, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? It just Stephen A. Smith. Stay out. Stay. He's probably one of those. Stay where you are. But again, going back to the human side of our quarterback, I'm sure that the chatter gets to him in some way. That's fine. That's fine. That's gonna happen. I've heard some radio hosts say, "Oh, he opened up a can of worms." So if he decides to speak on his own behalf, how is that bothersome? We're not talking about somebody who broke the law. We're not talking about somebody who did something wrong. We're not talking about anybody who has been less than respectful person out there. We're talking about a young man who is self-motivating himself, who is saying what he believes in, what he stands on, and what he thinks he's going to achieve. And somehow, some way, we turn that into our business. The way he said, "Oh no, he sounds like he's scared. I don't know. He shouldn't be responding to the haters. He shouldn't be on social media." Nah, don't say that, y'all, because y'all the same ones that would, if he didn't say anything, you would say, "He don't even talk to us." So we need to stop that. I've said all along, I truly do believe in Michael Penix. Now, as a Falcon fan, if Kevin Stefanski says, have plan B ready, and that might be the move, then shoot, that's the move. And Michael have to wait or do what he needs to do. But that still doesn't mean I don't believe the young man can overcome this injury. They say his rehab is going well. The man says he thinks he's going to be, courtesy of Zach Klein, who tried to make him ready earlier in April. He said he'll be ready game one. That's what he said. And who's to say he's not? Whether he has to wear a brace, whether he has to do whatever he has to do, so what? If that's what's motivating him, then let that motivate him. That's not for you. It's not for me. We as fans, we are hungry. We're desiring this winning season, and I understand it. I'm not saying we shouldn't, but let the man go through rehab. Let the man feel himself out. There could be some truth to where maybe he heard a whisper from somebody he didn't expect to. Maybe somebody turned his back on him when they shouldn't have. Love the fact that he was getting a lot of football players hitting him up on his like all the football players, Billy Bowman, AJ Terrell, Kobe Bryant, even old ones, Ray McLeod, all of them, just beautiful, man. They know as football players what it takes. So I'm ready to ride with the brother. I also am cautiously optimistic. If we have to do something else, then we'll do that. I'm sure Kevin Stefanski. You're not going to sit here and tell me that that's like on the sheet of paper that Ian, Coach Stefanski, and Matt Ryan are sitting in that office. You're not going to tell me when they say topic 1, 2, or 3, that's not Matt Ryan. That's not Matt Ryan. That's not Michael Penix. Of course it is. And that's what he's getting paid for. And as a Falcon fan, yes, we're waiting again. We were fooled again. But that's the reason why this regime change happened. Maybe Kevin has a better backup plan. Maybe he has a better plan than paying $100 million guaranteed to a guy coming off an Achilles injury and drafting somebody in the top 10. Maybe he does. I don't know. We'll find out soon. But as far as Michael Penix is concerned, man, go ahead, Mike. Talk your talk. And I stand with you. And I hope you do find peace. And that's up to him. If he want to get online and tell people, that's on him. And then poor Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan didn't commit to him as the starter. And Matt's learning real quick. Uh-oh. That didn't sound right. Let me step back. I didn't mean that. I love Mike. I didn't mean that. Welcome to the NFL media, Matt. On the other side of it. Because he's realizing everything that he says now will be torn apart and dissected. We don't need to hear. The man's on the roster. I don't need to hear anything. Matter of fact, I don't need to hear anything else from Michael Penix until training camp. Tell me his status then. Other than that, I'm fine. It's okay. I can wait. There is nothing I need from Michael Penix in March, April, May, or June. Tell me what he's like in late July. Go ahead and heal. Get your mentals right. Not that your mentals are wrong. Get your mentals right for the season. And push forward, young man. And Matt Ryan, keep doing what you're doing. Coach Stefanski, you got your work ahead of you. And that's basically, I mean, really my main rebuttal to all of those that just diving deep into the man's business. I'm not going to try to be naive. Obviously, I am a sport. I am doing podcasting. I want to hear from the fans. I want to hear opinions. That's fine. Don't have a problem with that. And I will give my opinions about things. But it's kind of hard in the off season when the brother's supposed to be rehabbing and we got all these wannabe, like doctors that know exactly what's going to happen. Nobody knows. Jim Plunkett, long time ago, for those of you remember him, aging myself, went through several of those knee surgeries. He came back and won 2 Super Bowls. Not saying that's going to happen, but it can happen. So just be patient, y'all. Be patient. I'm going to jump in here to the chat. If anybody wants to talk about Michael Penix, anyone want to talk about anything as far as the Atlanta Falcons are concerned, y'all want to talk some free agency, y'all want to talk about yesterday at the NFL Honors. Our guys didn't get the awards, but super proud of Bijan being nominated for Offensive Player of the Year. Super proud of the rookies being nominated, both of them. That was going to be a tough sled, especially when you have 2 on the same team. It's going to be hard for them to kind of go in that direction. And congratulations to Matt Stafford as the NFL MVP. I thought for sure they get at the Drake May, but I'm kind of glad he did. His Georgia ties, yes, playing for UGA got me still rooting for the brother. So congratulations, Matthew Stafford, pretty much solidifying his first ballot Hall of Fame resume with that. So let me get to the chat, see how everybody's doing today. King Treyway's in the house. And what's up, Unc? Have a great show today. Peace and love. And that is giving right back to you, my friend. Peace and love. We need a lot of that these days. Um, Thank you so much. Matt Town Dirty in the house. What's up, Matt Town? Good to see you, brother. Thank you for joining us here in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Again, as y'all come in, make sure you hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, and we'll uh, get to you as soon as possible. That one Falcon fan for life is in the house. What's going on, man? He said, we all know too darn well that Pierce got robbed of defensive rookie of the year, and same can be said for Watts, but nonetheless, we need a new slogan, get Falcons set. Now, I think it was going to be hard. Really, to be honest, Schlechenberg, whatever his name is, he had a lot of tackles this year, so I know a lot of people were going to give him energy. And the guy from Seattle who actually is hurt when he went through practice. Only thing I say about slogans and things of that nature right now, brother, as far as slogans concerned, let's let the season play and then maybe get a slogan from that. There's nothing wrong with falling back on Rise Up. And I hear everybody with the, now that Matt's back in here with the get Falcon set and all that stuff. Slogans are cool, they're great, but they're more effective in the moment. Nobody was talking about brotherhood in 2015, but they started talking about it 16 when he started winning. Things kind of have a way of building in it. And Rise Up was still going on back then too. So, we'll get to the slogan. Trust me. We will. He also says Penix will be fine, folks. His coaching ruined him. That's fair. Fair statement. Deanna, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us today. I appreciate you coming in. Says the hate is insane. It makes me cheer for him harder. It's so crazy, Deanna. Being somebody who's never gone through what NFL players go through. And, I even saw some posts, which is really weird. I saw some posts, he's not mentally tough enough. He can't take criticism. He can't. I was like, well, hold on, y'all. We only gave the man 12 games to figure it out, and he got hurt. What are we talking about? Keyboard warrior? Let the man get through what he needs to get through. But I'm with you. I'm in that same thing. It makes me, and as somebody who has publicly said several times, I'm not a player guy more than I am a team guy. But in certain cases, I do root for these folks. So I am rooting for him a little bit harder just to kind of shut the naysayers out. It's ridiculous. Mel, what's going on, Mel? How you doing, Nancy? What's going on, Uncle Steve? Coach in the house. Coach is part of Coach Rev and Red doing their things on Saturday. Y'all make sure y'all check them out Saturday mornings. Always some fun stuff, man. Catching them do their thing. Love to see them brothers talk sports and all other stuff. And can't wait to see what they talk about on the Super Bowl and their thoughts going forward on who they think is going to win. My brother Larry from the Dixon Way is in here. Y'all make sure y'all check out the Dixon Way. I know he is probably, well, then again, I don't know Larry's ever satisfied. I was going to say Larry was happy for the win yesterday against Utah, but it was Utah. But a great debut from the center we got yesterday, coming in there and doing something the center hasn't done for us in a long time, which is actually get some rebounds and play some significant minutes, and had a little three-point shot. I wasn't aware of that. But anyway, y'all make sure y'all check Larry out on the Dixon Way. Best live action content going on, whether it's Falcons, whether it's Braves, whether it's Hawks. He does it all. So y'all make sure y'all check it out. He's actually been doing Georgia Bulldogs lately too. I've been noticing that as well, Larry. I was checking you out when you did the Texas A&M game the other day. So y'all make sure y'all give him some love. Demetrius is in the house. What's up, DJ? How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Hope everything is going well for you. My other brother, David Starks is in here. What's up, Dave? Good to see you in here in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Again, as y'all come in, make sure y'all hit that like button for me on YouTube or Facebook. Appreciate y'all. Millie Mills is in the house. What's going on, Millie? How you feeling, brother? Good to see you in here. David says Penix was on K. Adams. I saw that, saying that this wasn't a response to anyone. I'm not buying it. Stephen A. still needs to close his mouth about football, period. Yeah, because at the end, she was saying, yeah, responding to Stephen A. Smith. And I probably believe him with the fact that he may not have seen that. I don't know. But even if he did see it, yeah, I'm at a point right now with Stephen A. Smith again. I hate giving him more press than he really deserves because these days he kind of got me worried on many more than sports fronts. Just yeah, you don't know what's going on here in Atlanta. You don't. And just because you start the segment with "I'm rooting for the brother" and I'm gonna do what all that buffoonish clown stuff that you do about that, he doesn't know anything about Michael Penix. Go sit there and try to say the brother can't bend his knees. What a irresponsible alleged journalist statement to make. You don't even know that dude. Stop pretending. Just because you can sit on the platform with Deion Sanders doesn't mean you know about every other athlete in the book. That burns me when he does stuff like that. Again, gave way too much time to Stephen A. Smith. Willie Mills says, man, all Mike got to do is stay locked in and get back when he get back. We all want you to succeed. But until my is boy, Billy, you just messing me up today. No, but I understand how you feel about it. Listen, at the end of the day, he's gonna do what's right for him. They got him in the right rehab mode. And guess what? If he doesn't come back, then we move on. It won't be the first time. But I also say with another 2 years left on his contract, there's no need to make a rush decision. Give him an opportunity. Pam was in the house. How you doing, ma'am? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us here in Uncle Steve's Lounge. We appreciate you as always. I know she's part of the Lady Birds. They had Muhammad Sanu on the other day on AFN, her and Miss Maggie and the crew doing their thing on there. So y'all make sure y'all check them out on Tuesdays. So that was a good show that she had on there. My brother Henry, what's up, Henry? Good to see you, man. I ain't seen you in a minute, man. Good job. Good job. Pamela says, Uncle Steve, I trusted Matt Ryan and the organization not rush back on his rehab. That's why they need to get Joe Flacco as a bridge quarterback. He knows the system and knows his role and mentor to Penix. I'm going to tell you something. I've heard that, Pam, and I don't have a problem with it at all if he happens to come in here. And it would almost be the equivalent, and maybe not, I mean, it could be the equivalent of having a Kirk Cousins in here, a veteran quarterback that he's worked with before, might be able to, help him along, mentor, whatever he needs to do. Just somebody else that he could watch. And maybe in Flacco's case, which might be different, the Kirk Cousins case, Pam, if I'm not sure Kirk Cousins was ever comfortable, quote unquote, mentoring Michael Penix because he felt so betrayed on draft night. So with Joe Flacco coming in, I think it's a true situation where, hey, I'm not here to take your job, Mike. I'm here to help the team win, but I'm not here to take your job. So yeah, that would be one. I'm sure there are some other candidates for that too, but I know with the relationship he had with Stefanski and helping them get to the playoffs a couple of years ago is a big help. My brother Craig is in the house. What's going on, man? He said the jury will be out for a while, but if he puts a winning team on the field, the naysayers will go away. They definitely will. No doubt in my mind. Craig also says, what do you think the Falcons should do with Pitts as tight end? Resign or release? That's a very good question. I would be lying if I say I've seesawed on it several times, but I probably have to stay with my original thought is to kinda let him walk, unfortunately. Um, the only reason, and hear me out, it's not saying that we couldn't use him. Uh, Kyle Pitts' cap hit, even as a franchise player, is gonna be somewhere between 15 to $18 million if we were to franchise him or to try to re-sign him straight out uh, into a contract. While Kyle has said he'd like to be here, I'm sure he's not giving any hometown discounts. I see some other tight ends out there, nothing special, but some other guys, which include Njoku from Cleveland, who is a free agent this year, who has obviously worked in Stefanski's system. That would be somebody that I would think about possibly bringing. Now, I mean, he's been on the team the whole time Kevin was there, so I'm assuming he had a decent relationship with him. That could be somebody you probably could get a lot cheaper, and maybe who knows, might be able to get a little bit more blocking done in that sense. Just my opinion. It's not. It wouldn't hurt my heart if they brought Kyle back, but that's some money you could allocate maybe for some depth on the defensive line, depth in the linebacker core, trying to solve what's going on the other side of AJ, those type of things. But that's my opinion as of February 6th. I can be swayed easily. Georgia, Texas boys in the house. What's going on, man? So what's up, Unc and Falcons family? The new era is here, and it's time to rise up and stoop. I hear you, my friend. Absolutely, positively, we are good. Obi says, I've been hard on Penix, but I did like his interview yesterday. Excited about the offseason. It's kind of, Obi, it's hard. You know, it's hard not to like young men like him. I mean, whether you critical of a couple of games he had last year, which absolutely he had a couple of flops last year. We can't sit here and say that. But I also think, contrary to the 3-6 record that they had while he was in there, a lot of that 3-6 wasn't him. New England, Tampa Bay, part one. There were some games that I say it wasn't all his fault on there. That was a collective team effort on some of those things. So I'm not sure. Pamela says, I stand behind my franchise quarterback. He will have a chip on his shoulders, and the hater will hate. Amen. I think that's exactly how I feel about that. Absolutely. T-Wheel is in the house. T-Wheel from One Time for the Fan. They were on in their marathon breakfast session this morning. I know One Time for the Fan always does a breakfast thing on Friday, and I was just surprised. I was out doing my stuff, and I was like, dang, it's almost 1 o'clock. They still on. But y'all make sure y'all check out T-Wheel, Jack, and Carrie doing their things in and out during the week. But I know that Friday thing is pretty much a staple of what they do on that day. But y'all, and also check out T-Wheel doing his thing on for ATL, My Sports. God dang it, I think I got it right. I'm not gonna try to pretend that everything is locked in, but he know I got love for him. So it's all good. Brother Moody, what's going on, man? He said, glad to see that the Hawks and Falcons have GM that cook like AA. Let me tell you something, man. The Hawk, honestly, the thing I like about what he did is he didn't fall prey to just getting a name to get a name. See Anthony Davis. He got needs. He stayed relatively young. I know the center is 30, but he stayed relatively young. And you left the pockets, you left your wallet open so you can make some deals this summer. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Larry says, Kevin better not bring in Dylan Gabriel to Flowery Branch. I've seen Ritter before, and I don't need to see Ritter 2.0. Don't laugh, though, Larry. It might be, hey, he might be here. I'm not saying I saw little of him. There was nothing about him that made me say, "Oh my goodness, he's great." But don't laugh. Your brother might be here. You want to get something if you're Coach Stefanski, you want to get people that know what you and Tommy Reese are trying to do. And if that's the case, you get those who know what's going on. I don't have a problem with it if he did, but to your point, uh, yeah, it was nothing he did spectacular before he got hurt. Pamela says Stephen Smith is part of the haters. So, Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith, if you're not a team he talks about in football, Dallas, New York, Philly, and then he got like a couple of basketball teams. He stays on the Lakers. He stays on the Knicks. He anytime he talks about other teams other than those guys, I'm not really paying attention because he doesn't know those teams. He doesn't know Atlanta. He doesn't know Tampa. He doesn't know New Orleans. He bases that off his one or two trips that he goes there. He doesn't know anything about the organization. He already poo-pooed Kevin Stefanski. He has no clue. And he was the same one with pom-poms out for Raheem early on. So he's irrelevant. Dexter, what's going on, man? He said, I think it's Penix's job to lose. Blank made it clear he's the franchise until proven otherwise. I know people don't like Arthur speaking, but I think he's on though some. You don't say that for no reason. I don't think. I guess what that did at that first press conference when he said that, I guess that's just to let you know that he hadn't given up on the young man. I think if things happen where we have to go in another direction, that's why you brought Kevin Stefanski in here. I think the problem was with the whole debacle, it just seemed like that wasn't the right backup for each other, whether it was Kirk Cousins to Mike or Mike to Kirk Cousins. And Stefanski is tasked with finding somebody who's going to be a solid plan B in case Mike isn't ready. Hope he is, but just in case he isn't ready. All right, Mike, he says Stephen A. doesn't know anything about football except trolling the Cowboys fan. That's it. That's it. You come on there with his little character and cowboy hat and does all of that stuff. And again, he swayed ESPN with it. So more power to him. I'm not hating him for doing what he does and making the money that he does. More power to him. But he's not an acquired taste for me. It's not my, I don't know. King Richie, what's going on, King? How you doing, brother? He said, what's good? How you feel about the offensive coaching staff is feeling a little 2015, 2016 as much as I didn't like the hire. King, I feel you. And I've seen some stuff that you said about it. King, I gotta see it first. There could have been reasons things weren't working out in the end. I am truly under the thought that there was some dysfunction in the Cleveland organization that might have played into that. But I've got to wait and see, man. I got to give him a shot. I have no problem with giving him a shot and seeing what happens. But no problem with you being skeptical. But I'm going to give him a shot. Robin, what's going on? How you doing? Everything is well here. Absolutely. Pamela says, similar to the Steve DeBerg, Chris Chandler situation. Now, that is a perfect example for those of you that don't remember. Chris Chandler, contrary to belief in that 1998 season, was getting beat up a lot. As a matter of fact, I think Steve DeBerg didn't he start like one game or two? Pam, I could be wrong, but I know he played quite a bit on a couple of times that Chris got hurt during the game. And Steve DeBerg was a perfect bridge to him, kept the machine rolling, And Atlanta went on to a 14-2 season and obviously went to the Super Bowl uh, that year. That is the type of situation that you're talking about. Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. My brother Chip Epps in the house. What's going on? I know he is excited. Huge New England fan. Seeing his team not only go to the Super Bowl, but just be able to flip it around so quickly. They were just there in 18, and now they're back in 26. What an amazing turnaround for them. He said, "Let Kyle Pitts walk so I can pick up." Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper are getting old. You know, that's so funny. You talk about Austin Hooper getting old. We had him in 16 as a rookie. Uh, I guess he is getting a little up there because that's almost 10 years now that he's been there. Yeah, that would be something for y'all. Oh, Josh McDaniel would probably run up on that real quick. So, yeah, that would be crazy. Dexter says, we're not bringing Kirk Cousins back. If we're going to bring a veteran quarterback, it's going to be Flacco. Kirk going to want too much money because he think he can clearly play at a high level. Oh, I hope you weren't thinking I was suggesting that was going to happen. I was just making the similarity to that's the type of quarterback we would have. Kirk, dude, if anybody reads the tea leaves on it, Dexter, the reason why they set that contract up like they did, if they were hoping that some foolish team would see that $2 million base salary and say, you know what, I'll take a chance on it and we'll worry about the bonus money later. Maybe that's what they were thinking. But yeah, there's no way that Kirk Cousins will play under that contract. Now, is there a small possibility that the Falcons could cut him, take the little $30 million hit, and re-sign him for, I don't know, $10 million? Which, folks, that would still be a savings. It could be a possibility. I don't think it's going to happen, Dexter. I'm kind of like you. I don't think they wouldn't have set that up like that. I think Kurt will be gone on either the first or second day of the season. They're just of the football season, which is what, March 11th or whatever, and then they have until March 13th. I think they're just setting it up perfectly for them to cut and us to go ahead and take that little hit. Pam says, I wouldn't mind getting Alex Pierce, yeah, from the other side of Drake London. That's a name that a lot of people have talked about. He had a really good stint there in Indy. That would be a good pickup for the other side of Drake. Probably got to see what we're going to do with Drake about money as well. So definitely that's a good one. Larry says Stephen A. Smith had turned into his mentor, Skip Bayless. I pay him 1% attention. that makes I am right there with you. Pam says I wouldn't mind trading back for some picks. Now, Pam, if you listen to our new GM, he kind of alluded to liking having picks. So who knows? I mean, I think we only have 5 available this year, but I wouldn't be shocked if he goes that route because that's kind of what he sounded like he wanted to do. So that's no problem. Where I have no problem with that philosophy. First super chat in the house, man. I appreciate it. John Harris is in the house. John Harris is with the eye test. Y'all make sure y'all check out his podcast on Wednesday nights, late night for most of you. He's on there with his brother Winston Thornton doing their things, talking all Atlanta sports on there. So thank you, Jay. I appreciate you, brother. He said, yes, the bird started the game. That's right, because Chandler got hurt. I'm just glad we have experts in the house after the last 2 regimes of amateur operators. So that verifies absolutely that he did play on that team. Listen, I appreciate it, man. Thank you, John, and thank you for the super chat. Always appreciate you having it in the house, my brother. What we got in here?
But my heart start beating triple time with thoughts of super chats on my mind. I don't figure out just who to believe, but you hear it all. Well, Steve. with Uncle Steve. You get weak and you know what.
Had to pull in for them high notes on that one, man. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for joining us here in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Again, y'all make sure y'all check him out doing his thing over on the eye test. Miller Mill said, Unc, I just have no loyalty to players. Bro, Vic and Julio messed that up for me, but I'll support them long as they're wearing our logo. I actually am in that boat as well. I think what made me kind of dig deep for Penix in this particular case, this isn't Desmond Ritter's situation. I've heard so many people try to compare the situations, and I don't even want to go to the, it's so easy. You don't know football, and that's not me. I've never been that person. But I'll say, if you are trying to compare Michael Penix, matter of fact, Michael Penix probably would have messed up ACL is better than what we got out of Dez. And I'm sorry, that's just the truth. And the truth kind of stands up because he's been hopping team to team to team to team since he left. These are not downers on my young man that tried to win for us. This is just the truth. So yeah, I'm a logo guy too. As a matter of fact, if Desmond came back, if they were drugged out and smoking weed in the office and say, hey, as a joke, let's get Dez back, and they signed Dez back and he put on the uniform, I'd root for him on the team. That's how crazy that, and you know that's deep. Dexter says, why people giving Penix so much hell? Nobody said anything about a dude that's been hurt 2 years straight in Minnesota, and he didn't come from college with injuries. He have a better supporting cast and come. Yeah, very good point. Very good point. You said it, I didn't. Even though I will say, when I went to Minnesota last year, talking to some people in the crowd there, a lot of people weren't happy about McCarthy, or as his with his alter ego 9. Y'all gotta look that up. He said his alter ego's name is 9. I said they need that alter ego to play. Strapped up, what's going on, man? Say, I think we are winning the NFC South this year in a playoff game. I think Penix will win Comeback Player of the Year. I hope everything that you have on here happens, my friend, because that means we will be a happy fan base, and all these folks in here talking to us will be extremely ecstatic on what's going on, including my brother 3 Dirty, who's in the house. What's up, Dirty? He's at Uncle Steve's Lounge. I'm fashionably late. What's up, Falcons fans? Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for coming in here. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I am, yes, that makes a lot of sense to me. Antonio J is in here, says Steve the Bird played in the game against the Jets. We lost 28-3. But Steve the Bird also came in and spelled. There was a couple of times that Chandler got hurt during the game, and he had to come back in, and Steve the Bird stayed in the game near the end of the year. Matter of fact, that year, I'm trying to think, what game was it? It was one of the games that the Bird got hurt. He came in. I'm sorry, not the Bird. Chandler got hurt. The Bird came in, helped win the game at the end. It wasn't just the game that you're referring to. I'm pretty sure. I'm very sure. Bill say I like Romeo Dobbs. Yep, next to Drake. Yeah, that's going to be kind of interesting because I know Green Bay has a overload of wide receivers. That could be somebody that could make his way to the Falcons as well. That would be pretty good. Thoughts on Jordan Addison? That could be a good pick too. That would be awesome. able to get him up there. A lot of y'all have some great ideas on who's going to be on that other side. We need somebody because I would be willing to bet the ranch that our brother Mr. Mooney is not going to be available. 330 says it's something serious, Falcons. In the chat, if you haven't already, go and subscribe and support. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. 330 is right. If you just popping in and say, who is that cat right there on the TV? That is Uncle Steve. Hello, how y'all doing? This is Uncle Steve's Lounge. I appreciate y'all. And listen, I appreciate a lot of y'all too. I've seen a couple of y'all at Hawks games, and somebody said, "Oh, that look like Uncle Steve." It is Uncle Steve. So I appreciate y'all stopping by and saying hello. Thank you so much. And again, subscribe to the channel, like the video. What that does is that gets it out there. Y'all ever notice if you do happen to lose touch or something, and you punch Uncle Steve? I notice when you do it now on YouTube, it goes straight to Uncle Steve's Lounge once you get there. So that's a great thing. So I appreciate everyone doing that. Sister alert in the house. What's going on, sis? She said, I literally have no clue what's going on with all the additions and subtractions to the team. And since it's not training camp 2026 yet, everything is pretty much up in the air, right? Yeah, we haven't done anything yet. So that's why, not to say I don't want to talk about rosters and then talk about drafts. Obviously, we're going to talk about it. But yeah, none of that stuff really starts until March. So yeah, right now we're just in that waiting period. And especially after the Super Bowl, that's that dead period for about a month. So yeah, that's true. Chip says they said McCarthy isn't guaranteed his number one spot since the GM is gone. I believe it. I mean, and if you listen, Chip, to Justin Jefferson is just as recent. I want to say it was yesterday was it yesterday or Tuesday at the Pro Bowl games and stuff. He clearly has said, yeah, the quarterback play wasn't what it needed to be. And you figure Justin Jefferson is an all-world wide receiver and couldn't even sniff all-pro this year because he didn't have anybody throwing him the ball. Everybody knows he's a top 2 receiver in the league, but you couldn't give it to him because he couldn't do anything. Henry says, I heard Matt Jones could fit well in Atlanta. Would you be down for it? I would, but it's going to take, as Miss Pam was talking about, draft picks this year. We don't have that many, so I don't feel great about giving up draft picks to get him. He's still under contract. He is not a free agent. So when we start talking about the Mac Jones of the world or somebody like that, I mean, unless they're willing to take like some, I don't know, like a barrel of oranges or something like that and a couple of juicy fruits and maybe some footballs or something. I don't think we're in a point to trade draft picks to get somebody like him. I would almost rather, and I know people don't want to hear this, I would almost rather get one of the young guys out of college in the 3rd or 4th round and see if Kevin can do something with them before I would trade away a 3rd round pick or 4th round pick for Mac Jones. That's me. Key Richard said the only guy up vouch for is Felipe. Yeah, look, King, I think his reign has probably ended. I'm pretty sure Stefanski's gonna bring his guys in here and to do special teams guys. So I sadly gonna have to say goodbye to Felipe this year. But again, Felipe was super cool to my daughter, so he always got love for me when I see him. Larry says, hey, Steve, do you think the defense tackle, Mr. Lee out of Texas Tech, will make it to the 2nd round? And if he falls to us, would you pick him up? No and yes. I don't think he's going to fall out of the 1st round. I think he's, if I'm not mistaken, if I looked at that last mock thing, I think he's the 2nd. Hold on one second. Let me see something. I think he's the 2nd rated defensive tackle, and we need a defensive tackle. You're absolutely right on that. I'm trying to just go to a fake, not to a fake one, to a let's see, uh, see, big board defensive tackle. Why is this not coming up? They have him as well. This one actually has him as a second round. Now, if he did fall into the second round, I would get him in a heartbeat. 6'4", 330. I would get him in a heartbeat. That's something we haven't had, a big nasty in the middle. I don't know what Stefanski's philosophy is on bringing in guys and whether Ulbrich is somebody that can utilize. We're going to have a hole with Onyemata. Onyemata got his Christmas gift with that $16 million cap hit he took. But I would take him, but I'm not sure. He might not make it to the second round. Defensive tackles are hard to find, man. Henry says if they are high enough to pull the trigger, getting Ritter back, they might as well bring back Ridley. I heard somebody talk about Ridley today. Yeah, I'll pass. I'll pass on a lot of the old relics, I would say. Yeah. Kelvin, what's up? Kelvin says Jefferson wants out. Ain't got time to wait for him to develop. I can see that too. I think JJ doesn't want to stick around. But JJ has a big cap hit too, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Justin, real quick. Justin Jefferson, Minnesota. Justin Jefferson has a $38 million cap hit this year. So, not that somebody can't pick him up. That's a lot. 27 years old, though, and he'll ball out, but that's a lot. Henry says they'll have to use Felipe as another Taysom Hill. I like Felipe's hustle and energy, and he does. I think Felipe was brought here for special teams, and obviously he had the nice little play where we beat Buffalo, and he was able to coax them to the fourth down and stuff. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think with it being a new regime, though, it's just going to be hard for me to figure he'll be part of this. Kelvin says he'd also call Russell Wilson. I'm not sure at this point right now. Russell Wilson is, I don't know. And it definitely, I don't know. I saw too many things that didn't look right with him up in New York to take a chance. I think he had the one good game where he threw all over the place. Was that Dallas early in the year? Or whoever it was. But Pandemic is in the house. What's going on, Atlanta Falcons Pandemic? Y'all make sure y'all check him out on YouTube as well. He said, how's it going, Unc? Always great to join the lounge. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate y'all joining. Appreciate you always joining us. Y'all make sure, again, y'all like and subscribe over there. Robin says, how you feel about Winston or Wilson? Well, I just told you about Russell Wilson. Jameis, I know that Jameis has like this little pocket fan base of people, I think, because he's just the happy-go-lucky, kind of guy. And I'm just not sure that's what the Falcons need right now, man. We had enough. We had enough of the, I don't know, comic relief part of things with Raheem in here. I think Jameis would be more of a clown show for. Not he's a clown, but it would be more of the, what is he going to say? What is he going to do? What kind of attention is he going to get? And Jameis is all about attention right now. And I'm just not feeling that at this moment. Chip says Matt Jones is looking for somewhere else to start again. It would be too much drama all over again. You need a quarterback who would help Penix like a Brissett type, another Jameis Winston thing. Like we said, Flacco. I definitely take Flacco if I out of the three. Brissett is 100% a quarterback that you need just if somebody's hurt. I don't think he's a quarterback. His story starts the same every time. He wins like a game, and then he's like, "Oh, he's pretty good." And reality sets in, and he turns back into a pumpkin. So, and that's not dogging him. Larry said the only reason I want Ritter back is for you to bring back the "I love Desmond" sounder. Yeah, I still have it in here. It's so funny because uh, I've changed mixers lately, so I got to get all of my sounders back into my other mixer over here. Uh, Pamela says Felipe Franks can block. He'll be another cheaper option on special teams always and tight end. I believe the same thing. I do think he's somebody that you know is a what they call it Swiss Army knife. He can take up a lot of different places and a lot of different positions. So I wouldn't mind. It wouldn't hurt my feelings to have him on the team. But with there being a new coach, I do feel like there are probably some leftover folks from Cleveland that he probably has his eye on. We'll have some former Browns on this team, and I'm sure he had some special team guys that he could probably turn to. We'll see. We'll see. Uh, Pamela also says Jameis Winston burned his pants with the fan base of what he did the last game against the Saints. I have been in that. I'm one of those people. I thought that was one of the more classless things um, that he did, and he sat there with a straight face and tried to talk people into thinking. That's why I was almost hoping Dennis Allen would have stayed in New Orleans just to officially let him go. But if you think about it, that game, that Jameis Winston was a free agent. He had nothing to lose. So he sat there. Matter of fact, every now and then I go back to that press conference. Jameis and Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen was so ticked off. I've never seen a coach apologize for scoring. He was really ticked off, and he's like, "Hey, I don't blame Arthur Smith for being ticked off. I never forget that." So yeah, Pam, that's part of it. That's part. Henry says, as Charles Barkley would say, Jabus is a knucklehead. Yes. That's my thoughts of him. All of the antics, the eating the W, the Olympic stuff he did a couple. I mean, he wants to be on social media. He wants to be Cam Newton when he leaves, and that's fine. I just don't need that circus distracting away from what Atlanta's trying to do, and that's trying to win a championship. And I think Jameis is not that dude. 330 says the return timeline for the MPJ is going to determine the quarterback new move we will make. In my opinion, I think you got to get ahead of it though, Dirty. If I'm not, I have to go ahead and plan for, and this is how you have to think, folks. And after all the good stuff I just said about Penix over the last hour, this is to me how you have to think about it. I'm gonna bring a solid backup to compete. Even though you say Penix is your quarterback, compete with him. I can't have a quarterback that's going to be timid. I have some of the best weapons in the game on my offensive side at this moment. I have a defense that I can't waste. I really feel like you need to get somebody that, if Michael was at his best, could compete with him, even if that's not really the case. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's here to take Mike's place, but I need him to be on par with taking the keys to the car and driving. So, in essence, somebody who would compete. That's my thought on it. Antonio said, "What's up, Unc?" He said, "What about Geno Smith? He's a capable spot start who's also willing to accept the backup role." Man, I have to fight some demons on that one. I, I do like Geno. His reclamation story is great. Uh, Try to see what he's gonna make, man. I don't think he's gonna be with the Raiders. They have Fernando coming in. I don't see them paying Geno, continuing to pay Geno when Clint Kubiak is gonna get Fernando coming. I don't see him staying on the background. So we'll see. I ugh. Come back with me after March on that question. Let's see. Larry says, "Are you coming to training camp, Steve?" You know, I came last year, but I didn't make it up there till late. I met everybody when they did the little thing. Miss Pam was there, and a lot of folks were up at the little. I can't remember the name of the little restaurant where everybody stopped at. What was it called? The Faucet or the something. Miss Pam will remember. I forgot the name of it, but a lot of people went there. Got a super chat in the house. My brother, Atlanta Falcons Pandemic. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Again, y'all make sure y'all check Atlanta Falcons Pandemic out on YouTube. Please like and subscribe to his channel. They say, "I'm all for giving a player another situation to succeed, but not sold on any available quarterbacks when you're talking about championship. We need to develop Penix." I am 100% right with you, brother. Again, thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much.
No one is like Uncle Steve. I know, but you got the kind of super chat like me. Hey, whatever you want.
Y'all remember when Face first came out? Whipapeel was just like this, the bomb. And a small super chat here from my brother, Chip. Chip, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you supporting the channel, man. Good luck to your boys this week, even though I think they're going to take that L going in. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you.
Let the music take your mind. The super chatting will be fine. You're gonna fly away. Uncle Steve will guide the way. I love it when we're cruising.
Yeah, man. I thank you. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate y'all supporting the channel, man. Always. Plan on doing this all off season. So y'all feel free to come back, talk some football, and we'll be right here for you, man. Thank you, Chip. I appreciate you, brother. Say Iron Mike said if Flacco is available, I want him. It sounds like the consensus, man. And I think it's a make sense situation if you're the Falcons. With I'm sure Stefanski is probably feeling good with him. So I'll go for that. Larry says Jameis did what he did versus the Falcons as an Aints quarterback makes him a no-go for me. How could Falcons fans forget about that? I'm right there with you, brother. I'm right there with you. Oh, the Diesel. That's the name of it. Thank you, Miss Pam. I appreciate that. Yep, that was it. Diesel. That place was crowded too, Larry. That place was off the chain. Absolutely. But yes, to answer the question, I hope to get in there and do that too. Keely's in the house, man. What's going on, Keely? How you doing, my brother? Good to see you showing your face in the house. Also in the house, Ryan from the Birdcage LCC is in here. What's going on, bro? He said, "Good. What's good, Unc? I think the biggest telling factor will be the undrafted free agents we bring in. We're limited with picks, but definitely a lot of GMs to pick from. Yeah, that should be true too. And as I was talking about earlier, possibly a lot of cast offs probably from Cleveland that, well, good cast off. And not talking about just bring anybody, but a lot of people who may be familiar with how he likes to do things. I know we have a different defensive coordinator here, but if you were on that offense, which is one of the reasons why I think Njoku is probably a very good candidate to come to Atlanta instead of holding on to Kyle Pitts. Somebody who knows the system, somebody who knows what they're going to run. So I think that's a but yeah, the undrafted free agents, hey, they ended up paying dividends for us this year. You saw a lot of folks get time. Kobe Bryant got a lot of time. I can't wait to see what he develops into with this Falcons team. Drummond got some play time. Did Nick Nash ever actually come on the field? I think he did on one or two of the games. So just an opportunity for them to, you know, develop those guys. So yeah, undrafted free agents are definitely going to be somebody to look at. Johnny R in the house. What's going on, man? Thank you so much for telling people to hit that like button. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is again, wanted to talk a lot about Michael Penix. I like the fact that a lot of you are super supportive of the young man. I think one of the narratives I was trying to break was just this thought that something was wrong as far as his mental capacity was. I saw a lot of people, oh man, he's hurt over a couple of comments. He's whatever. And I was like, no, I think we're kind of human. I think he probably hears a little bit, oh, he'll never, it's the fifth injury in his life. He'll never come back. He'll never do this. He'll never do that. And I think that's when you're an athlete, you don't have that mentality. That young man has a mentality that he wants to, come back and play and do his thing. So I support him as a player on the Atlanta Falcons, and I hope he lives up to the billing. We got a long way to go with him. We've only had him 2 years. Hopefully, people give him a shot. Henry says, I could see Flacco being in Atlanta. Imagine if he leads the Falcons to a championship. That would be a great story. Win 2 championships with 2 different bird teams. That would be crazy, right? We had a chance to play Flacco in 2012. Gosh darn it. But should have taken care of business against Frisco that year. Speaking of Frisco, congratulations to Roger Craig, man. How long did he have to wait? Roger Craig, first running back to run for 1,000 and receive get 1,000 yards receiving in a season, finally made it into the Hall of Fame. He was such an instrumental part, especially on those first couple of Super Bowl teams for San Francisco. Really good that he got a chance to finally get acknowledged. Also, congratulations to Larry Fitzgerald, Adam Vinatieri, Luke Kuechly, who I think for some reason I have no idea why they didn't vote Luke in last year. Luke Kuechly, probably because of I don't know, excuse me, his injury. But if you look, Luke Kuechly was like an all-pro player, like 6 of the 7 years he was healthy, man. I just don't understand why he didn't you know, get brought in. And then last and definitely meant to be least is Drew Brees. Yeah, you gotta give him his due. He destroyed us. I don't know if I was as happy to see a quarterback retire more than more than he was. So congratulations to him, man. Um, we get back up here. Scooter, what's going on, Scooter? How you doing, brother? Good to see you in the house. He said we were dying for wide receiver help when Drake went down. Nash never saw the field. Okay, I wasn't sure whether he had ever got called up or not. So yeah, that's something we need to do too. I think what happened with that, um, I think we put a lot of stock in thinking Casey Washington was ready, and I just I think they kind of overplayed that. Casey, I don't think Casey was ready. And I know he got hurt a couple of times too, but when Casey was in there, I don't think he was all that. Uh, Ryan says we have a capable wide receiver in Quincy Skinner or Chris Blair. They can be used number twos if used properly. Let's see. Let's see what Stefanski does with them. Let's see. You might be right. And Chris Blair, I don't know. They never let him get on the field. It's all about opportunity, and then also maybe what was going on behind the scenes. Guys like whoever was on this team this year, undrafted free agents who made the teams this year, and unless you were on defense and Ulbrich probably got your eyes on you, I don't know, Ryan, if any of them are going to make the team. Because if you're talking about a new head coach and a new GM, they might have a different philosophy, and a new offensive coordinator in Tommy Reese. They might have a whole new philosophy on what they look for in wide receivers. New wide receivers coach. The Blairs and the Skinners and the Drummonds and the what's the cat made the catches last year? Mills, all those cats, they might be out of luck. Just saying, they possibly. Antonio said, now leave them Cleveland castaways in Cleveland. Now I'm saying not everybody, but just like people who can fill the slots. Like people who might be able to be good special teams guys, maybe. Ryan says, Fats, Roger Craig waited 35 years. That's crazy, man. That is crazy. He should have been in. Yep. He should have. Most definitely. Oh, trying to pull this down, man. Yeah, this is one of those deals where I think from the senior committee, I don't know why he didn't get in earlier than that. Try to see something right quick. Just out of curiosity. Oh, put this in here. And because with his, let's see, because I think he ended up with, I'm trying to see how many yards did he end up with in his career. Roger Craig. Roger Craig ended up with 8,000 yards, so maybe that might have been part of it. 8,000 yards, and then receiving, he ended up with 4,900 yards. So maybe pedestrian numbers for today. So, yeah, that's probably why he waited, but I wouldn't have made him wait. I think he did a great job in there, and just congratulations for him for making it. Look like they're making Eli wait another year, as they probably should. Eli is probably going to be somebody who you would probably look at maybe in year 4 or 5 or something like that. Pandemic says Chris Blair should have saw the field before Quincy Skinner. The management of that wide receiver core is probably why Hilliard was so vocal. Skinner wasn't even in preseason talk. But here's the thing. Everybody is talking about what happened between Hilliard and Raheem and the guys. I still haven't heard a story yet. So unless y'all are, I don't know, maybe y'all had personal conversations with him or something like that. Something went down. I just don't know what. It just seemed like the wide receiver. But even coming into the year, I think everybody was kind of like, ooh, the wide receiver core is probably the shakiest. I think even with camp. And I think when they said Casey Washington is going to be your starting slot receiver, that was a reason to probably say, huh? And that ended, I think they just got exposed. I think the wide receiver core got exposed this year. That's why they weren't as good. And could also be a reason Michael Penix didn't flourish. I mean, remember, we started the year with Drake on one side, Casey Washington on the other side, and Ray in there. So it really was kind of a, you know, messed up, messed up deal. Pandemic says it's all speculation at this point, just like why Drake was so upset with TJ Yates. Now, the funny thing was I had a little bit of opportunity uh, where we were down there, where we were sitting, uh, to see the one time he was yelling at him coming off the field. There was another time where he actually threw his helmet uh, over on the bench, and they had to calm him down. But that, Drake, you almost want to keep that with him a little bit. Bird Gang in the house. My brother Tidy is in here. Y'all make sure y'all check out Atlanta Bird Gang. He's on YouTube doing his thing. I think I saw a collab the other day with him at One Time for the Fan. Always spitting knowledge, man. My brother is doing his thing. Make sure you like and subscribe his videos on Atlanta Bird Gang on YouTube. He said, I think Roger Craig should have been in. Here's an unpopular opinion. I think there needs to be 2 at a time window. I'm sorry, there needs to be a time window. If you haven't been voted in after 20, 25 years, your eligibility needs to expire. It's kind of interesting because if you do that, Roger Craig may not have made it in if he did that. He says, same for baseball. Folks trying to be sympathetic. Vote to Dale Murphy. Yeah, I've been seeing that. I tell people all the time, I love Dale Murphy. Dale Murphy was really good. Dale Murphy is probably not going to make the Hall of Fame. He's probably not. He was a great player for the Braves before the Braves became the Braves in the 90s, but he won't make it. That's old school Braves fans like myself. Him, Bob Horner, Chris Chambliss, folks like that. He's not gonna make it. Popular guy. He doesn't need it though. He can get a steak dinner anywhere in Atlanta. Jamal says it seemed like the entire wide receiver group outside of Drake had butterflies. That's true. That's true. Pandemic said Dale Murphy was solid at best. Yeah. And I'm not taking away the MVP. He was good. I'm not taking that away. I'm just saying, he's all right. Antonio says, off topic, but what are your thoughts of the NBA trade? I thought the trades were great for what they needed to do. They didn't try to sell out and go get the biggest name and give up all the assets. The Hawks are still in a good spot. Their team is still young. They still have that probably going to be a lottery pick this year, and they got money to spend on free agents for next year. So, or later on this summer. So I like what they did. I like it. Entourage said Bill Polkarova. or Bruce Benedict. Because I was saying, because old school Atlanta folks, because we were on TV so much, we made heroes out of Bob Horner, Dale Murphy, Rick Camp, Chris Chambliss, Claudell Washington. I'm not saying any of those players weren't decent when they were decent, but they didn't compare to the teams we were throwing out there in the 90s and some of the young players that they were bringing out there then. But that's all we had. That's all we had back then. So, I'm sorry. He said Bill Polkarova. I remember him. Yeah, that was crazy, right? That the only, I think, legit Hall of Famer at that time was Phil Negro. Probably. Oh, yeah, Pascal Perez, the 285s. Yeah, that was the first time. I think that was the first time I realized, just show you how young that was the first time I realized 285 actually surrounded the city. I was like, oh. And you could mess around and stay on 285 and get lost. You really could. Because if he stayed on 285, obviously Fulton County Stadium, you had to go on 20. to get, so he was nowhere near it. Oh, I remember he got in trouble big time for that, man. That was crazy. So this is what I want to tell y'all. I appreciate y'all joining me today on Friday. It's an unusual show. I usually don't come in on Fridays, but I will come on for my annual pre-Super Bowl show, which will be on Sunday. I'll be on at about 2:00. We'll be on at 2:00, talk some Super Bowl, talk some sports, talk some pop culture. We'll talk halftime. We'll talk uh, Atlanta Falcons, and we'll do all of that for everybody on Sunday. So prior to the Super Bowl, if you're just tired of watching all the other stuff on there, come on, join your uncle. I have some special guests on there as well to talk about the game and all else that we will have going on. Listen, folks, I appreciate everyone joining us today. Thank you for sticking around, man, and just hollering at a brother. That's what we here for. Look, the Atlanta Falcons, we in for a long off season. Let's go through it together, man. Let's see what happens together. Try to keep the energy up if we can. Try to keep the optimism up. I get it, folks. I'm not. I get what everybody's saying. I get the skeptics, but let's hope we have a good year this time. Until then, I'll see y'all on Sunday. This is your Uncle Steve here at Uncle Steve's Lounge. Don't forget to like the video before you leave and subscribe. Tell a friend, share the video. It's all good. I will catch y'all later on. Take care and be blessed.
You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge.